Hi everyone, FIDE has just made two huge announcements and I'm going to tell you all about it in this video. It's regarding the candidate cycle, the next one that's going to happen in 2028. Let's have a look at what these announcements are. So firstly, new qualification paths have been approved for the 2028 FIDE candidates. And now this actually is a big thing because it will determine the entire tournament cycle that will happen in 2026, 2027. And so players will have to be aware of what these changes are and also for the fans to follow the game. So here is a big change that we have right now two spots. So there are 8 spots in the candidates. 2 spots are from the FIDE Grand Swiss. So nothing changes there. It was there before. It will still remain. The new change that has happened is that Total Chess World Championship Tour 26-27 will have 2 players. This was not there before. One spot comes from the World Cup. Earlier, the World Cup had 3 spots. Now, if you see, the FIDE World Cup has only 2 spots. So one spot for the Total World Chess Championship goes there. And one more was a rating spot, which is now gone into the Total Chess World Championship. We have FIDE World Cup 2 spots, and FIDE Circuit 26-27 also has 2 spots. So these are the 8 players. All have become now qualification spots. There's nothing that you can do via rating and so on. In the women's candidates tournaments, FIDE Women's Grand Swiss has 2 spots. Grand Prix series of tournaments has 2 spots. FIDE Women's World Cup has 2 spots, and FIDE Women's Circuit also has 2 spots here. FIDE president, the current FIDE president, Arkady Dvorkovich, says the qualification system for the candidates tournaments is one of the cornerstones of the FIDE World Championship cycle, which makes sense because, it is from the candidates that the challenger is decided and the challenger eventually challenges the world champion. It is essential that it continues to evolve alongside the game itself. These changes have been carefully developed to make qualification process more balanced, transparent, performance-based by introducing the Total Chess World Championship Tour as a new pathway, refining the allocation of the FIDE World Cup places and placing greater emphasis on results achieved during the cycle. We are ensuring that every route to the candidates rewards sustained excellence at the highest level of competition. So by taking out the rating spot, there is no more like if you played well before and you are at top of the rating chart, you get a spot. That's not going to happen, which is interesting. In fact, there were a few debates that were sparked. For example, Miguel Ilescas, Spanish grandmaster, says, in my humble opinion, it makes no sense that the qualifying tournaments to the world championship have different time control. Classical chess should be preserved. Amateurs love it. The media love it. Why should FIDE devaluate its most valuable asset? So because the total world championship has a fast classic time control, rapid and blitz, and 2 spots are coming from there. It's interesting. In fact, there's also some more changes in the FIDE World Cup, which I'm going to talk about. Peter Heine Nielsen says, why are the council making such decisions right before their mandate expires? Leave that to the soon newly elected council in proper democratic manner. This is about the FIDE elections, which will take place later in during the Olympiad. Now, the thing is, apart from this entire change that we saw, that is of the qualification to the FIDE candidates, how the qualification works, there's also a change in the World Cup. So what's going to happen now? The FIDE World Cup was a very long event. It was a month-long event. Now what they've done is they're going to introduce a 2-stage format. Beginning in 2027, both World Cups will be played over 19 days. This is the Open and the Women's World Cup, and will consist of 2 distinct stages. So, earlier it was complete knockout, if you remember. There are 206 players in the Open, I think 103 in the women, and there used to be few players who would get bye in the first round. some would play, like the remaining would play, and then we would come to 128, 64, and so on in the open, and 64, 32 in the women. That's how it would continue. But now what they've done is that there will be the Swiss tournament will have a fast classical time control. This is the same time control that I think we're going to have in the total world championship, 45 minutes plus 30-second increment. The Open World Cup will feature 4 Swiss pools, while the Women's World Cup will be into 2 Swiss pools. So imagine that there will be 4 Swiss pools in the Open and 2 in the women, and then the leading players will advance to each pool, 4 from each in the Open and 8 from women. So there will be 16 players, and then they will indulge in a knockout stage, and this second knockout will have quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals that will be played using the existing World Cup format and classical time controls. A rest day will separate the Swiss and the knockout stages, with 2 additional rest days scheduled during the knockout phase. So you can think about it: 5 days of 5 days of Swiss, then three rest days, 8, and then there will be I think 11 days or 10 days of the knockout stages that will be played. That will be very interesting. And the improvements that have been made are that there is more prize fund, there are more players who get to participate, 224 in the Open, 128. Prize fund has increased in the Open from 2 million to 2.3 million USD, and in the women's it has been increased substantially from 0.676 to 1 million. The duration of the days has been reduced from 27 to 19, in the women from 23 to 19. The time control is now interesting. This is 45 plus 30, and actually this is something which I'm actually curious to see as the speed starts increasing. And then there's an interesting thing that granted qualification spots per continent, 3 was in World Cup, but now 7 will be for this one in the Open and 6 in the women. So more qualification opportunities from the various continents. As you can see, these are the important developments that have happened. More players get to play, more prize money, and there is also, these are going to be the World Cup from 3 spots in the candidates has been reduced to 2. So that's a small reduction there, but the total world championship has become a very valuable addition. And yeah, I'm actually very, very curious to know how things will pan out in the next cycle. Who will come out on top? The total world championship, how will that be? FIDE circuit to, who will top that this year? Then FIDE World Cup again, 19 days of it will happen. Then the Grand Swiss. So a lot of things coming your way. 2027 becomes a very interesting year from that qualification perspective to the candidates, while 2026 year, which is this one, remains very exciting from the Olympiad, from the World Championship matches perspective. I would love to know your thoughts on these qualification paths as well as the new rules of the FIDE World Cup. Please do let me know in the comment section below. This is Sagar Shah signing off. Bye bye.